Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're having a good one today. I'm Nick, and today I'm back with music and a movie. It's about time. It's been since September since we did School of Rock, and I'm joined by special guest Wolfman from Mega MovieZ.
Hey there.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to watch this movie. I'm a big fan. I'm a big musical guy. So you called the right guy to come on to the stream, and I'm a big fan of this movie, um and I love the Christmas setting so much. I have my own eggnog I'm drinking alongside it and
Nice.
everything. So yeah, big fan of this movie, and definitely uh thank you for having me on the channel. This is my first time. So
Yeah, and this is you're the first live guest on the channel, so
whoa.
welcome.
That's some pressure there.
Yeah, we
Putting
did
all
some
that pressure
pre-recordeds
on me.
before, but
I have to make a good impression now. I don't wanna be remembered as that poor first guest that popped up.
yeah.
So,
Um, yeah, so Anna and the Apocalypse is an interesting one. It's a good mixture of a little bit of everything. You get some zombies and some gore. We get some music. We get some holiday spirit. A little bit of everything into one. It's a good mixture.
absolutely.
That's a
Yeah,
that's
you know what's funny is the year that this came out, which is 2017, right? I think it's
yeah.
I see it on I see it on the little scroll thing. Um, is that my friend and we were in this drama, like we were doing like a Shakespeare play together one time, and it was in my school, and our school, like, there it was right in front of the play, where we did our theater, where we did all the theater plays at and stuff. And beside all that was like Taco Bell, was Dairy Queen, wherever you wanted to go. You just could walk and get lunch somewhere. So we took our lunch break and they let us just walk to wherever we wanted to. And my friend, this is me. This is back when I was in high school. My friend is telling me, says, "Dude, I have an amazing idea for a movie. Like, this is something that just came in my head while we were walking." He's like, "It'd be a zombie apocalypse musical." And I was like, "A zombie apocalypse musical?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I just think that that would just be such a refreshing, cool, unique idea and everything." And then him and I discovered that they made a zombie apocalypse musical,
They
and
beat us to it.
he was like, "What? They took my idea." And then we watched it together, and he was like, "I can't be mad though. He was like, they made my idea to perfection." So
Yeah, it's such a fun flick.
it is, but it's also like you go into it expecting it to kind of be just a dumb, fun movie because you're like, okay, zombie apocalypse musical. This is gonna be dumb,
Mhm.
but then you actually end up getting like a real story with characters, with heart, with
Mhm.
that actually has emotional gut punches every now and then,
Mhm.
and it's kind of crazy. It's sort of like Shaun of the Dead in the sense of whenever you're looking at Shaun of the Dead, initially you're like, okay, so it's gonna be a goofy, stupid zombie comedy. But then that movie has some like gut punches, some emotion to it, some heart, all the actual emotions and feelings that one is supposed to feel while watching a movie comes in there, and it's the same with Anna and the Apocalypse.
Exactly. You just don't expect it, right?
Yeah, like when I was seeing it, him and I were like turned to one another, we were like, "Holy shit! Did I like almost cry at a zombie apocalypse musical and stuff?" And he's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I think you almost did." Just we were like talking about like we were not expecting it to be that poignant while also being just so goofy and over the top.
Yeah, and it's even one of the slogans is Shaun of the Dead meets La La Land. Like, and I was like, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah, because you
But
have the
yeah, it's
goofiness and fun of Shaun of the Dead, and then you've got the um emotion and character of La La Land. So
mhm,
uh, it kind of fits really well in there, and the music also is, I guess, sort of the whole La La Land us thing. And the music in this movie
mhm.
is really nice. there's
It's
only as the case with every musical, there's only one song I dislike, and we will get
mhm.
to that when we are doing our watch along. But every other song I really do love in this, and you will catch me probably after this stream tonight humming every single one, being like, um, "I just gotta break away." I don't know,
Yeah.
some other songs. I'll just randomly be walking around the house, just starting to sing whatever songs they put in here. So,
Yeah, they did a good job. It's not my initial type of music, like, I'm more of a metalhead, but even these songs get me every time. They're just so well written, right?
oh yeah, absolutely, and they're very catchy. Like the thing is with a musical is you should always have songs that are catchy so you can stay in your head for as long as possible.
And it would definitely works. Let's go to the chat real quick. Brandon the Beldham, Mary slash Miss you filthy animals or filthy bastards.
Yeah.
I wanted to quote Home Alone there for a sec, but
Well,
switched it on me.
I know, right? Switching up all the movie quotes there.
We got Kyle, Flet lives. Hey Nick and Mike, Michaels. Hope you have an awesome stream. And we got Bacon. What's up, fellas? We're doing good.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, I'm paused at 0 seconds.
I'm paused at 001. Is yours just a black screen?
Yeah, 001. Me too, actually.
Okay, you're at zero
So we
zero one.
must be at the exact same spot.
Yeah, I'm gonna set a black screen. It's about to be the Orion
Yeah.
symbol, but um, but it's a black screen right now. So
So you ready to go on 5
yeah,
or
well,
on go? I guess.
yes, yeah.
All right. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Cool. You and I are both watching it on our Xbox.
Yeah, that's my Blu-ray player.
Same. I I would play it on PS4 sometimes too, but like it's so slow now. Ever since the whole PS5's come out, that console's so slow now.
Did you have a VVS before Orion?
Did I get what?
The VVS before Orion, like with the roller coaster?
No, no, I got Orion first, which was interesting.
Okay. Is it at like XYZ Films right now?
It's at Blazing Griffin right now,
Okay.
and then they
I think we're around the same spot.
yeah.
I'm just gonna zoom ahead a little bit. I just got Brazen Griffin now. I guess I had way more studios in front of mine.
Okay. Do you want me to pause?
No, I'm good. I had like 5, 10 seconds. They're
Okay.
in the car.
Yeah, it's in the car.
Yeah.
She just changed the radio.
Yeah.
No.
It starts very much like Shaun of the Dead too, with the radio broadcasts and the virus talk.
Yeah, and the fact that it's they have the thick British accents too
Yeah,
really
exactly.
helps with that. And this girl, she's actually in a show I've been watching lately, called Dickinson, and that's on Apple TV Plus. And I've been obsessed with that show lately. And I watched it, and I was like, it's Anna. I was like, no way.
Yeah, because they're not in a whole lot. These actors,
Yeah,
maybe 1 or 2 TV shows. That's it.
which is kind of sad because they should go a
Hmm.
long way after this.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah, Ella Hunt.
Yeah. Yeah, she's great.
And this is 2017, but that's at Fantastic Festival, maybe. It was at a film festival when it debuted, so it was really only out in theaters 2018 in most places.
Yeah, that's how it. That's how it is. For a lot of films, like I logged this on my 2018 list,
Yeah,
and
same here for like rankings.
yeah, and it's like sometimes it'll be confusing because like I know some people uh were looking at my list this year and they were like, "Why do you have 2020 movies on there?" I'm like, "Because of
Hmm.
films that played prior at festivals."
Yeah, it gets confusing sometimes.
Yeah.
Anna is giving me a British Victoria Justice type.
Uh, don't insult her. I'm not a big fan of Victoria Justice. So I'm
I don't
sorry.
know who Victoria Justice is.
Have you ever seen that show Victorious?
No.
Yeah, you're too old. That's fine. It's a Nickelodeon show that was kind of mid to yeah about mid 2000s, maybe a little bit late, like early 2010s, somewhere like that.
No, okay.
And and uh, and yeah, I kind of grew up with that, and that was like the era that a lot of kids in my generation grew up with. So, um, yeah, I think it was mid 2000s, and Victoria Justice was a big deal on that show, and she's an actress and singer. So
Okay.
now this principal,
Yeah.
um, I will tell you, I without giving any spoilers because I do want people to actually watch the film. I can tell you that it's his song that is the
Okay.
song I really don't like in this movie. Every other song is great,
Yeah,
except for
he's a dickhead in this.
yeah. Oh yeah, and here's
you
Breakaway.
love you love to hate him.
Another day. I like memorize this whole album.
The soundtrack.
Yeah, because that's like that's like my goal with all my favorite musicals is to
Know
make
the
sure
songs.
I get down. Like I've memorized the entirety of Les Mis, and so I need to. Uh, I've memorized this, and I now need to memorize all these other musicals I watched.
It's cool that the subtitles actually has the words in it. Sometimes they
Yeah,
don't with the singing.
it's like those. It's like watching one of those sing along editions.
Yeah. Karaoke.
I went to you know that movie called The Greatest Showman.
Yep.
I went to my very first ever sing along edition of that movie in theaters when it came out. And that was so crazy. It was so packed full, and everyone just starts breaking out into whoa, and they're all singing. The whole theater gets into it, and I was like,
That's awesome.
"Yo, this is insane!"
Yeah, that's with Hugh Jackman. Eh?
Yeah, yeah, it was really fun. Another one where I've memorized like all the songs is Greatest Showman.
I have not seen West Side Story yet. Have you?
No, I saw the original, and that was kind of a mistake because I know I do not like the original. I know I am blasphemous. It's sad, okay, but like, oh, there's only one decent singer in that whole thing. Everyone else made my ears bleed. So I'm not a fan of the original West Side Story, but I am excited to see what Spielberg does with it. So I am
Yeah.
very so as soon as I get a chance, when I'm less busy with the whole Spider-Man stuff, I'll get out there and see it.
It's I've been hearing good things anyway. from
Oh
everybody
yeah.
that I heard that's seen it. So
I mean, I've been hearing from people that it's like the front runner for the Oscar and stuff this year. So that's really cool.
I have faith in Spielberg.
Yeah. I mean, Spielberg, arguably, you could argue, is the greatest filmmaker. I mean, he's not my personal favorite of all time, but you could
Mhm.
argue that he is like the greatest filmmaker ever.
Yeah, the achievements he had and he never really made too many stinkers.
Yeah. And he's done a film in literally every single genre.
Yeah.
And so it's like, and now he can add musicals to that. So,
I think his last was Ready Player One, though. He might have. I think he did a documentary for like the war or something, right? In between that.
something. It was either that. I'm very interested in knowing what the last Steven Spielberg movie was now. Um, hmm. Dang, he's a producer on more stuff than he is a director. Golly. Okay. Um, yeah, Ready Player One. That was in
Okay, yeah.
2020. So
I really like Ready Player One.
that was really good. He hasn't been on his ball game though since like Lincoln back in 2012, but he hasn't really been like on his game in a while. So that's why I'm glad that because Ready Player One was good, but it's not like
Oh, it was no Jurassic Park or nothing, but
yeah, it's not like a lot of his classics. But from what I'm hearing, I hear that West Side Story is kind of back to the original roots of Spielberg. That
I like the when the penguins go on stage.
was a funny little uh, smart little gag they did there, where they make you think it's a zombie breathing, and it's just
Mm.
asthma.
Wearing like these Hogwarts sweaters. That's another dickhead.
Yeah,
And on top of us saying it was a Christmas movie, a musical, a zombie movie, it's also like a coming of age movie, like one of those
it
high
is.
school films, like Mean Girls or whatever. Heathers.
And it's done really well because I am a sucker for the coming of age genre when it's done well. Like
Hmm.
um, they didn't make the angst too strong because I hate it when you have too much teenage angst. That can just be really,
Or too cliched there.
yeah, yeah. What's your what? I'm just curious. What's your favorite song in this movie?
I'm not sure.
Because I know the one about to come up is very popular too.
Yeah, I think the one that's coming up, they do a couple times, or at
Yeah,
least they do pieces of it later. It's the Hollywood one up next, eh?
yeah. Hollywood ending. Which, without giving anything away, it's ironic they sing a song called Hollywood Ending because this movie does not have a Hollywood. So,
Yeah,
which made it very refreshing. That wasn't predictable or cliched or any of that.
exactly. You're going in almost expecting it to be completely one way, and it takes you by surprise.
Yeah.
So awkward.
That is.
You know who the head actress reminds me of? The head one from Shameless. For some
Oh,
reason,
I can see that. Yeah. Yeah, here's this one. Hollywood.
like these parts here, it's very much like an actual play. Like if you went to a live
Yeah.
theatrical play, like
Have you ever seen that? I know you're probably like, no, but have you ever seen a High School Musical?
No, I know what it is though.
It's yeah. There's a song that is takes place in a school that is very reminiscent of this, but this is definitely better.
This actor looks strikingly like Draco from a Harry Potter musical. Harry Potter as a musical?
Yeah, is that a thing?
I never even knew.
If that is a thing, I'm gonna have to look up that after this.
A Harry Potter musical.
Interesting. I'm always surprised at what they make into musicals. Like
Mm-hmm.
they had a SpongeBob musical on Broadway. I was like, this is insane. They have
They
a
did
Miss
this
Doubtfire musical on Broadway.
Miss Doubtfire.
I'm like, what?
They did the Always Sunny one,
Yeah,
where they actually toured too.
yeah. Oh, I would have loved to have gone to that.
Mm-hmm. The Nightman Cometh, one of the greatest musicals of all time.
Oh yeah, that's probably my favorite episode of the series.
Yeah, it's good.
One of these just background singers, she popped up earlier. But one of them looks just like Sophie Turner from Game of Thrones. Just that would be really. She's a little bit too young, but that'd be funny if it, since it is British, that'd be funny if it was Sophie Turner. Just
The
random.
redhead there from Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Also reminds me of Scream 2 when they just break out and dance. Song and dance
Yeah.
in the cafeteria. These guys actually could rival High School Musical in singing and choreography. Hell yeah.
Rival. They beat them. Because, I mean, okay, I'm not going to lie. I'm actually one that, yes, okay, I actually enjoy High School Musical more than most. But their choreography feels very staged. This feels very much like what high school students would do. It's not like they still keep it in the sense of reality to high school students while also making it kind of flashy and showy at the same time.
Yeah, it feels more natural.
Yeah. They're playing the score of one of the upcoming songs soon, which is fun.
Yeah, the next song might be my favorite. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
It's tough.
it is.
Oh,
Yeah, I've been trying to get a friend to watch this who's obsessed. I mean, obsessed with Christmas. Like he'll decorate for Christmas all the way at like the end of the summer. He's obsessed with Christmas. And I'm like, dude, I've got the perfect movie for you because I want to get more into like Christmas horror and stuff like that. And I'm like, then I've got the perfect thing for you. He's obsessed with
Mhm.
musicals, obsessed with Christmas.
Oh, well,
I'm
be
like,
perfect.
this would be like his favorite movie ever if he watches this. So oh my. No, this is the best song I hear. The Penguins.
Yeah, I do like these penguin ones. Oh, they're winning for sure.
Absolutely. I would give him first place easily. Ooh, I like her dress and that whole background. Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, she got quite the song.
Yeah, it's not as good as those penguins. I want the penguins.
I
Bring
agree. The
those guys,
penguins are better.
bring those guys back. Ooh, I would unblock her chimney if you know what I mean.
Put
Oh,
presents in her stocking. I feel like we see so many songs like this in high school, like Christmas movies.
yeah.
It's like, does it actually ever happen? Like I think of
It's like the show Sex Education. They perform Romeo and Juliet in a very sexual manner. Like they do Romeo and Juliet musical is like, and they're dressed up as like penises and all this stuff.
here's the thing. We're gonna show it all.
Yeah.
Few crowd members enjoying it.
Oh man, someone's getting jinky behind that door. Going hardcore.
I'm warning you.
Whoa. That is that was a very rousing song, not gonna lie.
The way it ends. Come on, Santa, give it to me.
Give it to me. Whoa, is
I'm sure it was metaphorical.
this like oh yeah. No. Is that like ash or spores or something?
Yeah, it's not falling like snow. I have a feeling it wasn't snowing here when they filmed this.
Hmm.
It's even later when the they're outside in the snow. Looks like fake snow.
Yeah, probably. I mean, there's a lot of movies, like Christmas movies and stuff. I remember them. Apparently, they were filming whenever they were filming Home Alone, and that giant snow scene that pops up at the end.
Hmm.
They were saying like they filmed that movie back in like early fall or something like that, and all of a sudden it starts pouring down snow that last day, and they're like, "What the hell is happening?" And so that would be kind of sorry. That's kind of crazy that it did that. That it like poured snow on the last day of filming.
Yeah, like here you see it's all snowy in the park, but there's like there was grass around the park. Like
Yeah,
that's why I'm thinking they filmed it in a place that wasn't actually snow.
yeah. That doesn't really look a lot like snow right there.
You talking about Home Alone? I think it was Home Alone like 4. They filmed it in South Africa, and it's supposed to be Chicago.
Wow. No one cares about.
No, that was like number 4 or 5 or something.
Oh. Uh,
Bashful?
Olive. See, it's got so much heart here. Like
Yeah.
you really buy it into their chemistry really well because they just.
And especially when we start finding out like their personal problems, like her talking about her mom, and then the other one being left home. Other parents are on vacation.
Oh yeah, yeah. This might be my favorite song right here. Possibly.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. When I said the next song, I was talking about this one.
Yeah.
Especially the visuals with it.
Yeah, the visuals help add a lot. It's dawning.
British candy.
Been waiting for. I'm flying. I love it. It's like this is also reminiscent of Shaun of the Dead. You
Yeah.
never know. Whenever he's walking in and he's just bumping into all those zombies, doesn't even realize what's happening around him.
Yeah, oblivious to their surroundings.
Yeah, that's sort of like what this is like too.
Mhm. And it's so contrast to like the upbeat, happy song with all this carnage going on.
So that's why it makes it so funny.
Yeah.
But it's also like so catchy. Like it's like this is a song I always sing every time I listen to the album.
Mhm. Especially here, you look at the yards. pretty green.
Oh yeah, those are some really well cut grass too. But yeah, they couldn't have filmed this. I don't think uh, in around when there's snow because um, if it premiered at Fantastic Fest, I think Fantastic Fest is usually in like late September, early October, something like that.
Hmm.
And so it's like, and this movie, I probably because it's a very small indie budget movie, it probably was only 4 months, 5 months full production. something like that. I don't
And
know.
it don't look like a small budget film.
Yeah, it doesn't at all.
Like some movies you can just tell that
Yeah.
it's made cheaply, but this one looks great.
Oh, absolutely. It looks like it was made with care.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. I love the graveyard setting too here.
Mhm.
She's dancing it. A time to move on.
That's when they both meet up dancing.
Oh yeah.
Guitar.
Oh man, such a great song.
Hmm. Yeah, that may be my favorite, especially visually there.
Yeah. I love that last one with the first or bag. She's a demented snowman.
Hmm.
I don't think you're throwing your bag at it works, honey.
No.
Oh, that was a
Cool kill.
perfect shot. Death by what are those things called?
Teeter totter.
Something like that. Yeah. Seesaw. I think that's what it is.
It's pretty much when the movie said, "Okay, look, we're not screwing around with the zombies either."
Oh yeah.
It's like if After Today and a Goofy movie opened in a zombie apocalypse. Yeah, exactly.
Oh yes.
A Goofy movie.
I love it.
Classic.
Both of them too. Goofy movie 1 and 2 are great.
Hmm.
I recently rewatched Goofy movie 2 because my friend was going off to college, so I watched it with him. It was like perfect.
I watched two. I don't remember it that much, but I remember one a lot. I've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
I love how he's just eating his banana. Hope that's not what people say about us if we ever go missing. Or it's like, don't worry, he's seen horror movies. He's fine.
Oh yeah. No, I would probably be forgotten about because I remember I was like gone from school for a week, came back, and a friend of mine was like, I was saying, "Hey, I'm back." She's like, "Oh, you left?" I was like,
Oh,
"Wow."
thanks.
I'm like, "Okay, thanks for noticing."
Yeah, the dialogue's so fun. And the guys are like loving the apocalypse.
Oh yeah. Each character is different and has their own little uh, quirk, which is great.
Like we were saying earlier, they have their own quirks, but they're not like cliched, like just stereotypes, you know?
Yeah, and each character is flawed too.
Hmm.
It's just Justin Bieber's a zombie, and I was like, "Baby, baby, baby."
That could work.
Yeah.
Iron Man is not a zombie.
It's like that discussion, or it's like that scene in Zombieland where Bill Murray was,
Hmm.
where they thought Bill Murray was a zombie and stuff, and that's funny. And then they kept on asking him like about his friends and stuff. He's like, "Yeah, he's a zombie now."
These are the conversations we probably be having.
You know? They stick very true to they stick very true to like teenage dialogue. A lot of times you watch
Hmm.
movies and you're like, okay, teenager or a kid would never say that, but like this one actually sticks true to the teenager motif.
Yeah, definitely. French don't take no shit.
Oof, jeez, she just kingpinned that one. If any of y'all have seen Daredevil, y'all get that reference. But like, jeez,
Yeah, it was like a curb stomp with the toilet.
yeah,
She looks mad.
they're just playing bowling. And he got a strike somehow during that. That's so convenient. Oh, that's a cool kill. It's just I
Yeah, you
feel
got to
like
give it up to effects.
and I feel like this is very accurate to what like teenagers would do too, as far as like we'd just be bowling. We wouldn't try to realize like what the dangers around us, and then once it comes, we're like, oh shoot, what do we do? What do we do? And then we're
Yeah, panic mode.
kind of freaking out. Yeah, because a lot of people watch horror movies and they're like, oh my gosh, why are they making so many mistakes? Why are they doing all this and that? I'm like, you've never been in that situation. Like, you
Hmm.
don't know what you would act like. So it's like,
Exactly.
in this type of situation, you would probably act like this as a teen. I love that. She's just using it. Spatula. You can understand brains. Ooh. Oh my. So, imagine picking that up thinking you were picking up a bowling ball and you're like, oh.
It's really head. Brandon says he knows he would be forgotten because I'm not particularly active that much on social media.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm usually as active as I can be on social media, and I still would be forgotten.
Yeah. Especially when Messenger says you're online when you're not half the time.
Yeah. Like my messenger sometimes says like I'm active now, and I'm like, I'm not active.
I've gotten messages at like 3 a.m. be like, "Hey, you're up." It's like,
Yeah.
no. Oh, it says you were on. But we will remember you, Brandon.
Yes, we shall never forget you.
Hmm.
See, I think also like people just try to forget about me because I'm a ginger. And there's that whole like thing with gingers where it's like you can't surround yourself with them or else they'll suck your souls or whatever. So that's probably
Yeah.
that's probably what it is.
And the apocalypse has officially begun.
Yeah. This is one of the more like emotional songs that they have on the album. But really well done.
When they realize they're screwed.
Oh yeah. Hey, this is a very accurate to life song with the lyrics and such. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you're like, when you're reading the lyrics, it's like very uh, still holds up really well. It's very accurate to society today.
Yeah, all these songs have the potential if they were out there on like the mainstream radios that to actually make it like on the charts,
Yeah, because they're all very catchy, and there are some times where unfortunately it never happened with this movie, but there are some times where you'll turn on the radio and you'll hear like it was that one like A Star Is Born song. I remember
Yeah.
when the song came out, like that popped
Mm-hmm.
up everywhere on the radio. And
It's
sometimes
true.
and you'll like hear other songs from movies like that sometimes.
Yeah, Shallows. Yeah, that played a lot.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that this was only a Canadian Blu-ray. I got this in my horror pack.
Whoa, in a horror pack. That's cool.
Yeah, with slip and everything.
Man.
Which is weird because horror pack's American, right?
Yeah, that's a really good like deal to have that in the horror pack.
It's possible that it was only sent to Canadians though, because they do that, where they just certain movies that they don't have the rights to in certain countries, they'll just send. Because I didn't get Exorcist 3 when everybody else did. I
Uh
ended up with ABCs of Death instead, and I heard it was because of a Canadian American thing.
okay.
So I don't know if that was the same for Anna and the Apocalypse, but
Yeah, I'm sure that they've always got to find ways to route because isn't horror pack like I mean I assume if you're Canada that's worldwide, so like they'd have to find ways of doing that with like Japan and other places that get horror pack too.
well, I think they might only ship to Canada and the States.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, I didn't know if they like shipped worldwide or not. I just find that funny. They're all in a little
Ball pit there.
ball pit. Yeah.
Why is there even a ball pit at a bowling alley?
Good question.
Never even questioned that before.
I guess just if you want to bring your little kids there, I don't know.
Yeah, you play over here.
Well, they're British. They do things differently.
Yeah, like walk under pools, or not pools. Looks like a pool.
It probably is a inflatable pool that you just put a bunch of balls in,
Mm-hmm.
like an inflatable kiddie pool.
Zombie Miley, Zombie Rihanna. They're still talking about the stars.
Oh yeah. I mean, that is just something teenagers would do. This they would think like,
Mm,
I was like, which celebrities are zombies and stuff like that. And, yeah.
this was a bad idea.
just sitting down very comfortably on that pool.
Liquid trickling.
Uh oh. So here's the jerk of the group.
Yeah. It's not looting, it's surviving.
Oh yeah, this is a fun one too. It almost
Don't
feels
it-
like this track almost feels like an old '80s type of song.
yeah, it almost reminds me of Grease or something. The way they
Yeah.
all got together. I always forget that first note he does.
Oh yeah.
That was totally like a Wolverine jump.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this feels very '80s. This song does.
Hmm. Yeah, the way he's singing it. Well, at least it's slow zombies.
That's true. The fast zombies scare me because if those things were chasing after me, I'd be fucked.
And no time to sing songs, that's for sure.
Yeah, and also I'd be I'm not that fast, so I would run out of breath very easily and just yeah. Ooh. Jeez, it looks like he was like aroused back. I don't know.
Tom with the watermelon smash, the face he made.
This is also visually one of my favorites too.
Yeah. What's funny is these teens can take on these zombies no problem, but the army all turned into zombies.
Yeah.
What were they doing wrong? What's up? Uh, I cannot say your name. It's in Arabic or something.
We've got bots in
A
the chat.
bot in the chat.
Yeah, that's
Rule
what
number one: cardio. Yeah,
I've,
for fast zombies.
I got like 4 of those messages in my last stream, and I was like, oh, okay, so those are
Oh
bots.
yeah, the bot. Yeah, I thought you meant the rules.
No, the
Yeah, cardio and double tap is two most important.
oh yeah, I mean, in double tap I use the most because I watch a lot of horror movies, and I'm like, hey, double tap. I learned that from Zombieland. You
Mm-hmm.
always want to do that.
Zombieland and Scream, technically.
Yeah, which
Killer always comes
dude, we're
back.
getting close. We're only like a month away from a new Scream movie.
Oh, I'm so excited. I was more excited for Scream than Halloween or anything.
I was too. I'm a lot more of a Scream guy. I grew up. That was
Mm-hmm.
my franchise growing up, and everything. So
Yeah, there's another rule. Watch out for bathrooms.
oh, I just do that on a regular basis.
Yeah, apocalypse or not.
Yeah, you know, watch out for bathrooms because you don't know what someone might what someone might do in there. I've had some very memorable experiences with bathrooms, public restrooms. Let's say that. Oh, that street doesn't look so festive anymore.
No.
So I'm wondering if our guy Brandon watching here, if he's watching this movie for the first time, because it sounds like he is with the way that some of the messages he's been sending.
Yeah, I'm not sure. This is maybe my third time.
Yeah, this is like my. Even though I love this movie, this is like only like my second time watching it. But
Yeah, well, it's fairly new.
yeah,
He's friend zoned.
he is. And it's so sad. Dude,
Swap.
buddy, I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Like maybe
It's like
instead of
after that, you're pushing me.
maybe instead of Wolfman, I should like make my nickname be like Lord Friendzone or something. I don't know, like that, because I'm so used to being friendzoned.
It's like, well, they got night watch zone. You can be the friend watch zone.
Friend watch zone, yes.
Same Michael. Growing up, I was more a Scream than Halloween guy, mainly because I didn't see the Halloween movies till later in life. Yeah, I watched the Screams before too, at least 1 and 2.
Yeah. Um,
I've watched this movie before. I never got to finish it, so this will be my first complete watch.
oh, nice.
Cool.
Yeah. Um, I will say about what he said about Scream. Like Scream is the film. I remember when I watched that film. It wasn't like I don't think it was the first horror film I ever watched, but that's the film that made me fall in love with the horror genre.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one that I was like, I watched it and I was like, oh my god, I'm a fan now. And it was me growing when I was growing up young as a kid. I watched that and I was like, I'm a fan of horror now. And ever since that movie, I was obsessed. So
I've watched it super young. Like when it was available for VHS, my brothers rented it, being older brothers, and I watched it. And it's the performances at the end when they're in the kitchen there. I remember that really got to me. I'm like, holy shit, it felt so real
yeah.
and just stuck with me.
Do you think Stu could still come back in this next one?
I personally don't think so, but it'd be nice. It'd be cool to see him back.
I
It's
think
my
that
favorite character.
I think it would be cool to have like a cameo of him in a prison of him in like prison or something, and he has a fully scarred face.
Yeah, because it's just the thing. Would he have survived that, right?
Yeah, I mean, you never saw his dead body, and I mean,
No.
he falling on your head, like you could survive that. That's something you could survive. It's just, yeah. Oh my god!
It's possible.
Now that's the scariest thing in this whole movie is that doll, right there.
The gnome.
That gnome. Yeah, gnome. Thank you. Do not want any of that. No.
Guess there's nobody gnome. I dressed up as a bloody ghost face mask costume in first or second grade. This was back in 97, 98.
Ooh, if it was back in '97, then that would have been during my birth year. So
Yeah, that might have been around that was around when I watched it on VHS for the first time. I was only like 6 or
that's why
7.
Scream 2 holds such a special place in my heart,
Yeah.
is because of the fact that it's, you know,
Oh,
came out my birth year, 1997.
I got a chance to see Scream in theater this past October, and it was a blast. I bet. I wish I would have got that, but didn't play in my town the anniversary.
Yeah, I would have loved to have gone to that.
I'm a big fan of like the meta horror there. So that's another reason why I love Scream.
Yeah, yeah, I'm big into that too, and that's really was what kickstarted it, and that spawned a whole series of '90s type of meta slashers. Um,
Like Behind the Mask, like stuff like that too.
and I love too, like what he mentioned. I love when they re-release old horror movies
Hmm.
in theaters. Like I got to see the original Nightmare on Elm Street in theaters. Oh, that was amazing. The original Halloween. I got to see one of your favorites, the original, the first, like the real Shaun of the Dead movie. I see that with
Nice.
in theaters and stuff like that when they re-released it. Um,
I seen it back when it
so
came out in theaters. Actually, it was a they used to do these all nighters where they play like 6 movies in a night or like 5 movies. And I
oh
remember going to that. That and 28 Days Later was the same night.
wow,
I, I'm thinking they like re-released 28 Days because it came out before, but I think they were doing like a zombie night. But
interesting.
yeah, Hellfest or Bloodfest for amusement park slasher. I go with Bloodfest,
Yeah,
but I do like them pretty close.
uh, Hellfest has just a few issues for me. Oh no! Yeah, this is when it starts to get like emotional here. You're just
Hmm.
like,
Yeah, you
no,
don't expect him to be bit before them.
yeah, because I mean, because this guy, they advertise him as one of the leads of the movie,
Hmm.
and so it's just whenever it happens, you're like, oh my god, this soon? What? No.
I'll just say real quick, I feel like Haunt
Oh,
kind of fits in that category too. I'd put Haunt above those.
that's a great heroic sacrifice to one for the team.
Hmm.
Oh, but see, like
Well,
they,
hell, yeah.
but it was like whenever you get to that point, though, you would not feel like this emotional weight of the scene without the development that they've given all the
Exactly.
characters.
We spent so much time with those two.
It's been, I'm just checking. It's been we're an hour into the movie, and if you think about it, this is the first major character that's died,
Hmm.
and we're an hour into the movie. So that's what it did. Is it took an hour to really fully develop each and every character. So whenever they start dying now when all the deaths are happening, you're going to feel the emotional impact of each one.
Hmm.
Damn, using that candy cane. It's badass.
It's the perfect weapon for Christmas.
Absolutely. It's a Fortnite weapon too.
Love Hellfest more, but Haunt is top tier. Yeah, it's not so much amusement park, but it's in the same ballpark.
Yeah. I want to go, if you're talking about amusement parks, I want to go to Halloween Horror Nights
Yeah,
in
that'd be cool.
school because, like, I had a friend who went there and he said for like for like there was like an Us one where it's just a bunch of like mirror rooms and stuff, and so it looks like you have a doppelganger that's like chasing you around, and it's like
That'd be cool.
it does like different movements and everything from you too, but it's like similar, so it's like it's very kind of freaky and scary. He also said that there was this Happy Death Day one where it's literally just the room repeating and stuff like that, and it was so great because that was so funny, and I'm like, oh man, I would have loved to have done one of those. I went to Universal last year, but I didn't get to go to
Okay.
Halloween Heights.
Yeah, it'd definitely be fun. It's cool. They always have like a few newer films, and then they have the classics.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is the one song I don't like in this movie. Like, I get that he's supposed to be kind of crazy, but he's like a really bad singer, and
Yeah,
it's just not really. And it's just really not that catchy in comparison to the other songs.
I feel like that happens a lot with like their villains when it comes to musicals.
Yeah,
They give them these more crazy songs that it's not as melodic, I guess.
I mean, every musical out there, there's always at least one song that's kind of a dud in comparison to the rest.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like it goes with the rest of the movie either.
Yeah,
Halloween Horror Nights had a maze that was literally horrific version of a very popular holiday. Cool. Yeah, I'd love to go.
I mean, hey, I'm a poor singer, so this guy's maybe a better singer than me. But like the way that he's singing to those, like "Nothing's gonna stop me now," like it doesn't sound at all like really good. And I mean,
Yeah, he's
and
not even trying to go in key or nothing.
it's not memorable. It's kind of out of place. So yeah, and it's also like visually, it's just kind of I don't know, it's just kind of repetitive and kind of
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. That's definitely the worst song,
yeah.
which is funny because it's like one of the more upbeat songs.
Yeah, that's true. But there's some even slower songs on there that on this in this movie that are much more memorable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of shocked. I kind of forgot that what's his name went out that quick.
I know. Like he's the first to die out of all the out of all the
Hmm.
main cast. That's kind
That's
of
not a Hollywood ending.
crazy. No, it's not. And with I don't know if you remember who else ends up living, but uh, without going to without giving anything away, definitely, like I said, is not
Another
Hollywood
shocker.
for sure. I was like, oh shoot, that is. But I really love that it's not a Hollywood ending. That
Hmm.
that it stayed true to that, and that it was it was far from predictable or cliched or any of that.
Yeah, it's not generic.
Yeah,
Another heavy moment.
yeah, and it's like it's this character's heavy moment now. So you've been built up with this character, so it's this is going to have an emotional impact on you. It's like I can see the complaint if someone really wants to make a complaint. I wouldn't agree with it. But if someone wanted to make a complaint, I can see how they would complain that we were an hour into the movie and how you really only start to see main characters starting to die now. And when there's only 30 minutes left to go after that hour. And I was like, I don't really see that as a complaint because I see that as someone who, loves rich characters, loves development,
Hmm.
loves good writing. I'm always about making sure I fall in love with the characters first. So if you can get me really developed into someone in their life and who they are, everything like that, and then you throw in the gut punch of killing off someone, that's just going to leave an even bigger impact on me in the end. So
And we take the time to know them. The
yeah,
impact's always harder.
absolutely.
Do you guys see that Lazy Town song, "We Are Number One"? That guy's tune of this song is reminiscent of that
Hmm.
the bad song. I'm not sure. Lazy Town.
I never even heard of Lazy Town.
I know Crazy Town.
Yeah,
Not
I'm
sure. I
gonna
have to check that out. We
I'll,
Are Number One.
I'm gonna have to check that out and the Harry Potter musical now.
You're gonna have a list.
I'm gonna have some homework to do tonight after this stream is done.
Hey, even our bully's getting a moment.
And it's also too like that's a really good pacing too when you can go an hour into the movie with not a single of the main characters dying, and then but you're like so into the movie the whole way
Hmm.
through, even up to that point, like, and it never feels you're like whenever you would check, you'd be like, oh shoot, what, we're only an hour in, and it's because of all the songs, the way the flow of it goes, the pacing, the editing, all that is just very well done.
Hmm. Yeah,
Structure.
great pacing.
Yeah.
And it tears you apart because you're like, they try to make you feel for the bully, and it's like, but I used to hate him.
Yeah, but they find a way to make you
Kind of sympathize for him.
empathize for him as well, and yeah, it's kind of crazy, and it really puts you in that moment of, hey, if you were in an end of the world situation, you would probably have to empathize and forgive someone like
Hmm.
that, so you could work together than than having to just hold a grudge like that. So yeah, there's a lot of very poignant and deep stuff in this. Oh, I got that. Tommy, that's a Nicolas Cage. Like like a young Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. Hey, it wouldn't surprise me nowadays in his career.
It would not surprise me if they were just like, "Hey, we're looking for extras to be zombies," and Nicolas Cage is like, "Did you say that you're looking for extra to be zombies? Because I would do that."
And he pops his eyeballs out.
I don't know about brains, but I could eat a peach for hours.
Now, out of all the cast, she's the one who looks familiar to me. The one with the short hair.
Yeah,
And I looked up, she's in a ton of stuff compared to the rest of them.
interesting. And the girl, the main girl in this, Ella Hunt, like her show Dickinson is actually fairly new. Like it just ended this year, so um, so she has been staying busy since this, but
Hmm.
only with that. Uh, I think with that one show though,
Yeah, I think it's mostly TV for most of these actors.
which is sad. They should be going a long way. Oh no. Oh yeah, you're right. She has done a lot more stuff. Interesting. Cool.
Another two
Damn.
down.
They're just hey, at least they got bit together so that
Mm-hmm.
they get to die together rather than one of them surviving without the other. If I was to die, that's the way I'd want to go out, is with someone I care about.
Another one's there like, damn.
Yeah, because she was his close friend too.
Brandon says he finally watched Willy's Wonderland and it's just as entertaining and odd as people said. Yeah, it's definitely different. I watched that one.
Yeah, it's so funny when you go see like uh the content he did this year, like Nicolas
I
Cage,
know.
Willy's Wonderland. He went on from that killing animatronics to delivering a career best performance in Pig.
I will agree with that.
And so it's so ironic that he just had these two way different in contrast type of performances.
His career is taken a really odd direction in the last 10 years.
Because yeah, because like every once in a while he'll deliver like a Mandy, he'll deliver something like that, and then other times he just loves making movies, so he'll
Mm-hmm.
be in anything and everything. I saw a Sundance movie with him this year where it's called Prisoners of the Ghostland, and it premieres. I think it's already actually on Shutter and stuff that people can watch it now. But there's a line where he literally shouts "testicle" out of the top of his lungs. He's like, "Testicle!" It's
It's
so
like he
great.
was made for those moments.
I know.
I'm more the type I appreciate that what he's doing more than I actually love what he's doing. But good on him.
I mean, if you think about it, it just goes to show he is honestly one of the most versatile actors in Hollywood
Yeah.
because it's like he can go from doing something like a Willy's Wonderland or, you know, Prisoners of the Ghostland, like I mentioned, to doing something like Pig or Mandy
Mm-hmm.
or
To
or something that is
like
more
Ghost Rider, like,
or
you know?
yeah, or like his movie. He was in this movie called Joe. That was like the first time I watched a Nicolas Cage movie. And I was like, oh damn, he can be serious, stuff like that. And so it's
Mm-hmm.
like there's a lot of these. He's been in a lot of stuff like that, but then he's been in a lot of not good things too. And I do respect that. He's like Bruce Willis, but a way better actor. Where to where he's like he just loves making movies.
Yeah, and
So
he chooses interesting movies to be in, like, you know?
yeah, so he would be in that like if he was to be in that jiu-jitsu movie, like that jiu-jitsu movie that came out, it's just like that's the dumbest thing that I've ever seen conceived on screen, maybe. And I was like, but he says yes to it because he just loves dudes.
Mm-hmm.
And this song, even though he's still not a good singer, and he kind of ruins his half of the song, this song is still really fun because of the way
Mm-hmm.
that they do it.
Yeah, this song structure itself's a lot better.
Yeah.
Brandon said he has not seen Pig, and he loves Nick
Oh,
Cage freako moments. Yeah, those are always the best.
you've got to see Pig. It's gonna just don't watch the trailer because if you watch the trailer, oh, that's a ball shot. Jeez. If you watch the trailer, Pig, you're gonna think that it's a uh, John Wick type of movie about a man and his pig, and he's trying to get his pig back, and he's like a, and they advertise it sort of like that. It is
Yeah,
Nicolas Cage at his most somber and serious and emotional, and it's probably the best male performance I've seen in 2021.
I will
It,
say that is definitely Cage's best performance in the last 10 years for sure. I'd
Oh
have
yeah,
to go through his whole filmography to see after that. But great movie, but depressing ending, I found.
very depressing. I mean, it was meant to be depressing for what it was trying to say with its message,
Yeah.
and it really worked really well. But it's one I can't really rewatch often.
No.
It's just like damn, yep, like it just sinks a hole into your stomach after watching that. But I would still maybe be in my top 10 of the year. Maybe I like so far. I really love it. Man, this guy's gone full retard.
Yeah.
Yeah, as they say in Tropic Thunder.
You never go full retard.
Oh,
I'm happy he got it though, because
yeah. It's
couldn't
like,
have another bad character get off with that.
yeah. And whenever I started seeing all these good people die, I was like, when I first saw this, I was like, great, they're gonna make him live through most of the things. They always make the worst people live through.
Another
Oh,
Titanic.
jeez. See, it's so emotional because now it's like her dad gets bit,
Hmm.
and it's like,
She's can't win.
and she's gone through like this. The whole purpose of this was to get her dad back, and it's like now it's
And she's still going through losing her mother.
damn. This is a gut wrenching movie.
And all of her friends.
Um,
It's deep.
yeah, no.
Oh my god. Just die already.
Oh, hey, let them have their moment. This
Not
is
the
the
dad. I meant the other guy who showed up.
oh the other guy. I thought you were
Yeah,
talking.
yeah. No, no, no. Yeah, just die. No, I just couldn't believe that Nick showed up.
Yeah, it's like he way to barge in on a very tender moment. Yeah,
Suppose he kind of redeemed himself there, but
yeah. And by the end of this movie, I guess you could say redeeming himself. So
yeah.
oh, now that
Train to
is a,
Busan.
I've never like fully cried at a zombie movie until then. Until I saw that movie. That was like
Yeah, that may be the most emotional zombie movie.
yeah.
I'm
I
due
know.
for a rewatch.
This is one of my favorite songs too. Even though it's more slow. It's still like one of my favorite ones. It's just so emotional.
They only knew that if they would stop singing, the zombies would go away. It's like
Yeah.
that's what attracting the zombies.
See, that's why in this musical, they should have all been bad singers. Because if
Yeah.
they would all be bad singers, then the zombies start listening to music and they're like, "Arr, arr," they start walking the other way because they don't want to hear the music anymore.
Yeah.
They start walking the opposite direction. Like if you have them be like, I will believe, like that, then they would be walking the other way rather than Yeah.
Or they'll become fast zombies to get it over with.
Yeah.
Oh, the other two are turned.
Oh, they still touched their fingertips when they were walking by each other, even as zombies.
It's almost like a warm bodies
Yeah.
moment.
Oh, and it hurts seeing this guy as a zombie.
Yeah, I wanted him to live,
Yeah.
or at least make it to the end. So shocking, be the first one to go.
Mm.
Talking about the principal or whatever, the teacher that was singing bad. Uh, Watching Return to Jafar, Iago, like he has a couple of songs which is so funny. Gilbert Gottfried singing,
Oh Lord, yeah.
and I watched that not long ago. But I dig that more than this
Yeah.
for that guy's song.
Hey, now we get real snow.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe digital, but
yeah. But I mean, when we were talking about like the things that looked like snow earlier,
yeah,
it
the
was,
other
yeah,
ones look more like piece of paper or something.
yeah. So, so yeah, the people who ended up living were the people you did not expect by the end of it.
Yeah, aside from Anna,
Yeah, you expected the bully to be one of the first to die,
mm-hmm.
and maybe the blonde you could make an argument for, but it's still shocking though.
For sure, wasn't expecting that at all.
It plays the song at the end. Sorry, you've been
Mm-hmm.
dreaming of,
Mm-hmm.
because it's not the story you've been dreaming of and stuff.
And it means even more that it's not a big Hollywood movie, too. This
Yeah,
is more of an indie film.
which is perfect.
Oh, a little jump scare.
And here's this great like little artwork they have during the credits too. I
Mm-hmm.
love I love it when movies do this.
That's a fun credits.
Yeah.
So yeah, that movie flew by.
Absolutely. Uh like I said, the pacing is you never once feel bored in this whole movie.
No.
It's just goes and goes and goes and goes. Even when it takes like an hour for the main character to die, it's so like you're so invested the whole way through that it doesn't ever drag or anything.
Yeah, really strong characters, great performances, great songs. Aside from one, I would agree that one song is the only bad one.
Yeah.
And just an all around great Christmas film. It has the heart. I'm just gonna look real quick, see if that the director did anything else. John McPhail.
I hope he did because he should have made it far after this. But like we said with all the other people, it's like,
I think this was his last big movie.
wow, it was. Yeah, he did a short in 2020. He's got two upcoming projects though.
Well, hopefully they're good like this because
one called Dear David. Don't know what that's about. And then he's got another one, which is an untitled Lady Macbeth musical.
another musical, huh?
Yeah, untitled Lady Macbeth musical that he's working on, according to IMDb. That's interesting.
Well, I'd be willing to check that out.
Oh yeah. Um, as someone who grew up with Shakespeare and everything too, it's like, or being in Shakespeare productions, that would be kind of funny to see a musical of Shakespeare.
Here's the twist. We're putting zombies.
Oh boy, you know that he'll probably find a way to slide some horror thing in there
There's something.
to make it like even more outlandish and crazy. I love they're playing in the second part of the credits. They're playing the little flipper penguin song.
Yo, yo.
That's great.
So yeah, and in the Apocalypse, I would probably give it a solid 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd give it about a 8.5, somewhere like that.
Yeah, around there, yeah.
It's really just that one song that I have is like my negative of this movie is that one song. But other than that, I think it's really solid.
I would totally be down for Scout's Guide. I have the movie right over there. I can see it. That's
Oh,
another super fun movie.
hey, and you've got an Eagle Scout on this.
There you go.
That'd be perfect. That'd be fitting.
Yeah, that movie's so fun.
Eagle Scout / Assistant Scoutmaster. So that'd be really fitting.
You would rank highest in that stream.
I would definitely though. I would definitely be watching with critical scout eyes.
Yeah.
Like ever since I've been an Eagle Scout, I've always like. I remember my sister tried to introduce me to this movie. I don't know if you've ever seen this horror movie called Backcountry.
I heard of it and I haven't seen it.
These two couples. It's based on true story or something, but it's these two, like this couple in the woods, and then a bear comes, and like my sister was like, "Oh, it's so freaky! It's so good! I'll have to show you out." I personally hated that movie, and it was maybe on me because like I was watching it, I was like, "Oh my god, these characters! You don't do this with the bear. You don't act like this with the bear. You don't provoke it anymore with this." You know, I'm like critiquing everything they're doing in the wilderness and everything. I'm like, no, this is dumb and this is stupid. You don't do that. And ever since I've been like an Eagle Scout, I've like always complained about when people do certain things in like wilderness area, or if they're trying to do first aid kit, if they're trying to put like a tourniquet on someone, or they're trying to do, you know, something like a splint on someone or something like that. I'm like always correcting how people are doing it now. So it's really funny.
It's funny how that works, and like anything that you do in real life, whether it be your job or like when you notice that in a movie, you're like really pinpoint watching it, seeing they're doing it right or not.
Yeah, it's like how Chris Duckman, if you're familiar with him, he just came out recently and said that his wife had twins. And he says now, as a father, every time he watches a movie, he's always going to be critical of like birth scenes now, because he's like, it's not what it's like in the movies. And he says he's always going to be very critical of this type of things in movies now. So it's so yeah, it's funny how that kind of how a certain thing like that can influence your brain to work that way. You know, I make exceptions. Like when I watch the Friday 13th movies, I'm like, okay, this is dumb fun. But then
yeah, depending on what you're watching.
But then it's like other times, like a film like Backcountry, was trying to take itself so seriously and all this stuff, and I'm like, y'all are literally the worst campers I've ever seen in my entire life. It's like that type of stuff can be very annoying.
That's it. What approach they take. If they were trying to be super realistic, well, then you can't blame us for, you know, finding all the flaws. Brandon says he's just happy he can tell Martin, his anthropomorphic friend, I'm guessing, I've seen Anna in the Apocalypse. I'm sure you don't mean Fian.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll have to, and I'm definitely gonna have to tell my friend about this, who is obsessed with Christmas.
Yeah, if he
Obsessed
loves musicals, he should
with
love
musicals.
this.
Absolutely. I'm like, dude, I kid you not. You're going to be this will be like become like one of your favorite movies of all time because he is freaking obsessed with Christmas and musicals, and and he doesn't do horror, like he doesn't like scary type of horror. I'm like, this is perfect for you.
Hmm.
Like, this isn't anything that's gonna like scare you outright. This isn't anything that's gonna um, alienate you in any way. It's just you might be mad that certain characters die off, but other than that, I think I definitely think he's gonna dig this. And have you ever? Because I was telling someone the other day, like I got someone into watching like a show that I'm into, and they were like, "Dude, it's so good." And it's like that always is like I always love that feeling when you like
Hmm.
when you're telling someone about something or you're recommending something to someone,
And they
and
get right into it.
they come in and they tell you all about what it was like. They're like, "Dude, this is so good." And I'm like, "Thank you for
Hmm.
telling me this." It's like there's always that like warm feeling you have in your heart. You're like, "I told that guy to watch."
Yeah.
Because it's just like, yeah, it's always great. And so it would kind of feel that way if he ends up watching this and loving it and coming to me, I'd be like, well, no problem. I just,
Now you see like a movie like Sweeney Todd. It has the horror elements, it has the songs. And
yeah,
I'd love the story of it, but the songs I don't find click with me like this movie.
yeah, yeah,
Like they're just not up to par for me anyway. A couple of them are good, but not all of them.
yeah. And there's very few times that like there's very few times, if ever, that I've seen a musical where I do like every single song. Um, because there's always that one, like to me the greatest musical of all time, whether it's stage, whether it's movie form, whatever it may be, uh, the greatest musical production ever made is Les Mis.
Is
But even
what?
with Les Miserables,
Okay.
that's probably the greatest musical production of all time, in my opinion. However, that musical always has one song I still don't like. It's just because the way that the singers sing it is very annoying. And so so there's always going to be kind of stuff like that. Like even the Greatest Showman, like oh my god, I love those songs on the Greatest Showman, but except for one, which is
One.
that, like never enough, never, never. Like I did not like that song, and so
Yeah,
uh,
maybe if you go back to like the Disney Renaissance movies where they were more like musicals,
yeah,
you might find like I was almost said like Aladdin or I think all those songs are probably good, but you'd have to almost look at one of those animated films to get a movie with no dull songs, like, you know?
like Lion King. That
Yeah, like those two, Aladdin and Lion King are probably the two with I think no weak songs probably for
yeah,
me.
and I mean I think to me if you count this as a musical, that like movie wise, then this is my favorite musical of all time because it's my third favorite movie of all time. Period. But I guess you could also kind of say the same thing as far as songs go, like about the Wizard of Oz too.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah,
kind of
that works too.
one that I feel like there's not really a single bad song on that in that movie. So
And if we want to get a little silly, I mean like South Park the movie. That's pretty much a
oh,
musical.
master songs, so not a single bad lyrical or piece of composition in that movie. It's
Maybe
all
like the Devil's Song or Satan's Song there. That might be the only weaker one for me, but the rest of them are all awesome.
oh yeah, especially Uncle Fucker. And
Classics.
uh,
Yeah. How's mom, you know. All right, guys. Well, that's pretty much it for this stream
oh,
of
don't forget if you're talking
Ant
about
and the
the popcorn
Apocalypse.
team, don't forget Team America
Oh,
was
Team America.
was also musical. I'm
America.
I'm so lonely, so
Yeah.
lonely.
Freedom isn't free.
Uh,
All those songs.
oh yeah.
They're great. So Wolfman, where can we find you at?
You can find me on Instagram at Wolfman36. You can find me on obviously on the YouTube channel. Subscribe to Mega Movies. I will be doing. I have my own Christmas stuff I'm doing on here this month, and as well as getting ready for Spider Man and doing some things for that coming up soon. Um, and so you guys can subscribe to the channel. That would be great. I've also got TikTok. You guys can follow me there on Mega Movies. I have a Facebook group, the Wolf Pack. You guys can follow me on there. Where to join in on the conversation. You can follow me on Twitter. I barely use it. So if you want to follow me on Mega Movies, you can also follow me there too. So yeah, that's about all the social media platforms where you can find me. So
Yeah, and I have a link for your YouTube channel in the description. You guys can go check it out.
thank you so much. Yeah. And thank you for having me on. This is great. And any excuse I have to watch, I mean, a musical in general, but especially uh, one as good as Anna and the Apocalypse, is a good excuse um, to be on stream. And hope I was a well enough guest for your first guest live
Oh
stream.
yeah, you set the bar high.
Thank you. Now everyone else is gonna have to.
They're gonna have a hard time to follow that.
A lot of pressure. Yeah.
Brandon got a thing here. Beauty and the Beast, 1991. Not counting the inclusion of Human again, has a near perfect soundtrack. Yeah, man, those Disney Renaissance movies, late 80s, early 90s, all those Disney movies, killer soundtracks.
Absolutely. Yeah, Beauty and the Beast is another great one too that you referenced. Not as much the remake. I was not a fan of that one, but yeah, the Beauty and the Beast 91 version, which was one of only 3 anime movies in history to be nominated for Best Picture, which is at the Academy
Impressive.
Awards, which is really cool. Yeah.
I hate that I don't own any of those on VHS anymore. I used to own Lion King, that, everyone.
And like I've wanted to upgrade to Blu-ray so much, but they're so expensive.
Yeah, the Disney ones, yeah.
God damn. Like just if I wanted to buy like the Lion King or Aladdin, I'm paying like almost $30
Mm-hmm.
for them. And I'm like a piece. And I'm like, God damn it. And that's not even if I wanted to get them like remastered on 4K. If I wanted to get them remastered on 4K, it's like, oh, pay $35 a piece for them. And I'm like, geez. I'm like, this is so expensive.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I'm glad they have them all on Disney Plus. I'm like, I might just watch them on Disney Plus for a while.
Yeah, Disney movies, I definitely, every time I see one of those older ones, I pick her up in the bins there for cheap. If I ever see one, I'm buying it for sure because they're so expensive.
Yeah. I mean, with them, I usually only buy Blu-rays, but if I was to find like one of those old Disney Renaissance movies on DVD, even in like a bargain bin or something, I'd probably just buy that because I'd be like,
Yeah, at least I got a copy.
I'm like, at least I got a copy. This is good enough, It's like it's better paying $5 for this DVD than paying $30 for a Blu-ray. It's like kind of insane.
Mm-hmm.
But
the one company that doesn't need the money for it. But.
Exactly. Too. Yeah, that too. And I mean, but Disney's always finding ways to really just. I was honestly surprised at how cheap Disney Plus was when it came out. I was like,
yeah.
I was expecting it being Disney. I was expecting them to do like, oh, $13.99 a month or something. I was like, oh my gosh,
it's gonna get there.
It may eventually. Yeah. At the same time, though, I'm always saying like, I feel like if you really want to get customers, I feel like if you're a cheaper price streaming service and you get like a ton of subscribers, I feel like that's almost more beneficial because you're getting so many subscribers.
Exactly.
But then if you were to like be a very expensive service, and you're going to get less subscribers because they're going to be like, I don't have the money to pay for that.
Hmm.
But if you're
Yeah,
like,
so you're not gaining.
yeah, so if you're like $6.99 or you're $5.99, stuff like that, especially it being ad free too, that you're like, oh, well then yeah, I'm totally paying for
But
that.
you see where they gain is when they have these months, like last month. Oh, $1.99 for the month. You sign up, and then if you don't cancel, you're getting charged the full price next time, right?
Yeah,
And so where they get people, and then like, oh, I got a few more.
yeah, and they always find a way to hook you back in. Like the time that they released Mortal Kombat on HBO, they did it on a business perspective. It was so smart because there were people who would only sign up for HBO Max to get the 1 month free trial of for to watch the Snyder Cut, and
Yeah.
then they would try to cancel. But the thing is they released Mortal Kombat like like literally just a couple days or like a day after your 1 month subscription would be over.
So
So
you
then
wouldn't cancel.
so then people would look at it and they'd be like, "Oh shoot, that's coming out like right here now. I'd have to watch Mortal Kombat now." And so it's a way to lure people in, try to get to stick with it.
Yeah, it
And
was the same with Disney Plus. I feel like they're spacing out their shows for when one ends, a couple weeks later, the next one's starting, like you said. So if I cancel, I won't get the next show. Like,
yeah, that's how I am right now. I'm watching Hawkeye, and then it's like
hmm.
Book of Boba Fett is right after, like literally like right after Hawkeye, and then you've got um after that all the other shows coming out in 2022 that they're going to try hooking you in with. So
It's getting hard to keep up.
it is, and there's just so many streaming services. And I pay for like I maybe should like I have this idea of interswitching them because I subscribe to like 8 services right now, and I have an idea of like switching them and interswitching them to where you unsubscribe for one for just a little while, and then once the next big thing comes out on that service, you get it again, so you can watch it, enjoy your free trial, or whatever.
Yeah.
You and then you unsubscribe to that, and then you do that with a bunch of different services throughout, and then just that way you cycle through them, and then that way you're not constantly paying like for a ridiculous price for 8 streaming services because now it's getting even crazier than cable.
And that's a smart way to do it because you're not going to watch all 8 of them,
Exactly. Yeah.
not at once. Yeah, the more content, the more expensive,
That's yeah,
unfortunately.
and also it's like with Netflix's deal, it's like they need to learn because Netflix has this stupid philosophy where they feel like they should pay a ridiculous price for some of their stuff. Uh,
Mhm.
like right now, they're making what is probably the most expensive movie I think ever made with Ryan Gosling or something like that, and they're paying like 400 million dollars or something like that on this film to get made. And I'm like, this is why you cancel shows and all that nonsense
Mhm.
because you guys freaking pay so much money. And they did like a $5 billion deal or something to purchase the Knives Out films or some ridiculous thing like that. And I'm like, y'all are in debt because y'all do this and they cancel shows after like 1 season or 2 seasons or 3 seasons or whatever it
Mhm.
may be. And I'm like, it's because of what of the cost that y'all put into all this shit. And the fact that um they bumped up their price. Like I have the 4K Netflix because I like watching my shows and movies in the crisp, beautiful 4K mode. But
That's another thing, like, you're charging people for the different quality when it should cost you the same thing to give everybody the same quality, right?
exactly, like when I was paying, um, when I pay $6.99 a month uh for Netflix, or $5.99 a month for Apple TV Plus or something like that, I'm getting 4K content.
Mhm.
Like, it
Yeah.
says 4K all on there, and it goes up to 4K. So if you have just a 1080p TV, it plays that. If you have 4K, automatically plays that,
Mhm.
and all that stuff. HBO Max, all their stuff is in 4K, but they're starting to implement that now into their service, and you have to pay an extra fee for it. It's weird that like Netflix does that, and they make it the most expensive one. It's like almost 18 to $20 a month now.
Mhm.
You don't actually have the 4K Netflix. They are the most expensive streaming service now on the market, and
But
yet
what
they're
I find is
uh,
everybody I talk to with Netflix, they're mostly sharing it with other people. Like, that's how they're doing it because it's becoming too expensive.
yeah, it's just, and it's ridiculous. I mean, I do that with a lot of streaming services, anyways, where we'll swap things. But yeah, I've had, I think that that's the best way to do it, is either to swap out services until the
Mhm.
next big thing comes out, or just borrow another friend's service, just so you can be like, hey, can I, you know,
Yeah, well, some of them have plans where you can do
yeah.
that too, so
And also it's like they lure you too into the fact that like I tried, because I like Hulu, and I got Hulu so I could watch this new season of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. But then I tried ordering the ad Hulu for $6.99. I was like, you know what? I don't have the money for the ad free Hulu, so let me try this. The ads were bothering me. I was like, okay, I can't do this. So I was like, you win. So I paid for the other Hulu, and I'm like, man, that's how they pull you in, because they have these
yeah.
they have, like, because they've got like, you can get it for $5 a month or $6.99 a month, but you have ads. And then it's like, with the that's what bothers me too, is I'm like, if you're offering ads, it should be like Tubi or like Peacock or something like that, to where
Mhm.
you don't have to pay for the service if it's ads. If it's the ad version, you should not have to pay for the service. But then if you
Well,
want,
the ads is they're making their money there.
yeah. So I mean, so there's really no point. I don't know. Yeah.
Sup, Red Rusty? You
Yeah.
caught the end. Was recording and missed it. Will watch it from the beginning. Netflix is all I have. I just buy all my stuff. It's cheaper. Yeah, when you're starting adding in all the prices, it is cheaper to just buy sometimes.
But it's also though so sad too, because it's like certain movies and such. Like, one of my favorite movies of the year, a majority of you guys aren't going to be able to watch, which is Coda, because they decided to have Apple TV Plus buy it, and I'm like,
Okay.
Apple TV doesn't make Blu-rays, or stuff like
Yeah.
that. Netflix does sometimes. Shutter does. Um, even HBO, all these stuff. But like Hulu, for their original content, they might make Blu-rays for like the TV shows, but I've never seen like a Hulu movie get a Blu-ray.
Yeah, I've
And
I've seen the show that 1168, whatever it's called, the one with James
yeah,
Franco. I seen that
yeah,
on Blu-ray, but not really any other movies.
yeah, and like Apple, they haven't made any of their content on Blu-ray, or I don't even think they have any of the Disney Plus stuff on Blu-ray, which is shocking considering there's like WandaVision, Loki, all that stuff.
Mhm.
Um, so like, I agree with Red Rusty. Like, I absolutely would do that. But the thing is a lot of the stuff that's on these services I
Yeah,
want to watch,
originals.
and if I don't pay for the service, then I can't watch them, because I'm like, I wish they made Blu-rays or DVDs of these things so I don't
Mhm.
have to pay for it to watch it, but it's just unfortunate. Yeah,
Yeah, they force people to peer-to-peer it.
yeah, unfortunate.
Have you
And
seen this, Anna and the Apocalypse, Red Rusty? Just wondering. Have you watched it before?
yeah, if you've not seen Anne and the Apocalypse, I highly recommend it, and you can find the DVD for pretty cheap too. Um,
Yeah, there's sometimes where you don't have the choice when you're just not available, right?
Yeah,
Oh, nice. You've seen it many times.
many times. Oh yeah, it's definitely one that is very rewatchable.
And we had a fun time.
Absolutely. But yeah, like what he was saying there about downloading things. Like I had a buddy of mine who was telling me he's like he felt so bad about having to pirate it, but but he lives in like the Philippines or something, and he says that that they actually don't have WandaVision available or Disney Plus available yet there, but he wants
Mm.
to watch it, and just so he can catch up with the MCU and everything. And he's like, I feel really bad about it, but should I pirate it or something because I can't watch it? I'm like, if
There's no other way.
they don't give you the option, they don't like that's on them because they could literally because Amazon is worldwide. You know, that's a
Hmm.
worldwide thing. That's already across the world right now. Amazon Prime, they have shows on there where you can buy episodes, you can buy seasons if they wanted to. If they have an issue getting Disney Plus to all these different countries or all that stuff, they literally could just say put their shows on Amazon for those specific areas and say, hey, pay for this much for an episode. Hey, pay this much for this, and or something like that. And then that way, people are still supporting the content. They're still paying. They're still doing that they need to do to support and get more of that content out there. But at the same time, you know, they're since they don't have access to the service, they're able to watch it in another way.
Well, yeah, because for example, Chucky's on the Sci-Fi channel, but you can buy the season on Amazon, like through Amazon Prime, rent it or buy
Yeah,
it or whatever. So
and even
shouldn't
like
be an issue.
and even Peacock, like they have an option available if you have Peacock Premium, to where you get like the whole season on Peacock as well. So um, they have all these different things, and I was actually shocked to hear that Chucky was number 2 this year behind Squid Game
Yeah,
as far as like most
popularity.
most watched series. Yeah,
Mhm.
which
Yeah, that
is
surprised me too.
yeah. I mean it. I mean, I was surprised when I heard Squid Game was like the most watched thing like ever, or most watched at least Netflix show ever, and most watched show of the year. And then it just surprised me even more when I heard Chucky was the second most watched. I was like, wow, that's really good news. So
I feel like the TV show gets out to a broader audience than the movies. More people's bound to watch it with the TV show, I feel.
yeah, and I mean, even as a movie guy myself, I've always said that we're in like the golden age of television right now because
Mhm.
there's so much good TV out there, and they're making so many shows. Like there's it's hard to keep up with,
Yeah.
and like I watch a lot more movies than I do TV, but the TV I do watch, I'm like, God damn, these shows are good. So it's like, so like,
I'm not a big TV guy either, aside from Always Sunny, but if they're gonna be making another horror series and Disney has the rights to Alien now, I think that they should let Ridley Scott finish his story in the same way Chucky's doing it with the TV series.
yeah,
Like finish After Covenant, do a TV series that leads up to the first movie. I think that'd be a good idea if they're
well,
gonna do that.
from what I've heard that they are making one on FX. They're developing an alien show from the Fargo screenwriter. Fargo being the FX
Mhm.
Fargo TV show screenwriter, which is an amazing show on FX already. So like that's great hands of someone to take over the Alien franchise. But I do wish that they were doing Ridley Scott because I kind of want him to finish
Yeah, well,
the story
it
before.
was just like Cult of Chucky where we want to see what happens next,
Yeah,
because
um,
the next movie was supposed to have Ripley's mother
yeah.
to really tie in the whole Ripley
And
story.
that's another reason you mentioned that too with Chucky. That's another reason I'm shocked Chucky was as popular as it was too, because it requires you to watch all the movies
Yeah.
in order for you to really understand what's going on. And so, I mean, I could definitely see how maybe it was thanks to me because of what I did on my YouTube channel, that maybe all the Chucky films are
I
getting.
think that that's what it is, yeah.
Oh yeah, I think people were watching that and they're like, hey, these Chucky films need to make a resurgence. Let's watch them and start doing that when they saw all my content on there. It actually was one of my most viewed series I've done on YouTube, so I would be surprised if some people felt that way.
Well, speaking of your channel real quick, I just realized today that there's a new Kingsman movie.
Yeah,
I was like, "What?" I didn't even know.
yeah,
I never heard nothing about it.
it's called The King's Man,
Man, yeah, like a prequel.
and it's a prequel. And apparently, they've just announced today too that they're shooting the next, like, Kingsman 3. They're shooting in September. So
Yeah,
um,
that kinda came out of nowhere, I found. I was like,
yeah,
never even heard of it till today. I seen, well, Sean Chandler put out a movie review for it. I'm like, "Is that
yeah.
Kingsman, like, the
Un-
same series?"
Unfortunately, it's been getting kind of mixed, middling reception.
It was like
I'm
World War One or something.
I'm still gonna go see it because I'm a fan of the franchise. Well, I say fan of the franchise. I'm really like a major fan of the first one. I wasn't a big fan of the second, but I'm still gonna see it because I do like the whole Kingsman stuff. But
It's a cool, like, the world building in it is really cool. Everything they made,
yeah,
it's original.
and that's still like it's insane that that video I did, that Kingsman watch along, which where it was by myself, and I think it was honestly like one of my worst videos because I was kind of repetitive. I was kind of just by myself and didn't have anyone to bounce off of. So I was just maybe it was me being dressed up with the glass of wine or whatever. I don't know what it was, but that
Yeah, that
video,
video really took off, eh?
yeah, that video has like it has 22,000 views, and
It's crazy.
I was like, God damn! And I will say, it's got like 79 likes, but and like 70 dislikes or something like that. They don't tell you how many dislikes on your videos there are
Not
anymore,
anymore, no.
but they
I think you can still find out in your studio, but not right on the video.
yeah, but they definitely, it was somewhere like it was very close. It was like 75 dislikes and 79 likes or something like that. So, so it's
Oh,
like,
those are the people that show up expecting to watch the movie. Like,
probably, yeah. And so I mean, either way, they look at the YouTube algorithm still looks at dislikes and likes
oh
is
yeah,
still kind of one and the same. So even if you get a lot of dislikes on a video, then you
still
know,
good.
and like for me, I was able to see it, and I was like, you know what? Fuck, I think I did bad. I would dislike the video even myself personally. So that's why I was shocked when it was like at like 22,000. I was like, this isn't even my best video, and like this is at 22,000. Maybe it's the fact I had the profile picture and people thought, and what's weird is that like I maybe got 4 views max in the live stream
During,
during, like nobody was watching it during the live stream, like barely anyone. And so I fully was like by myself, and it was after the fact that like everyone piled on. It was like crazy.
Red Rusty got a point. He said ever since the dislikes are gone, there's more negative comments.
Yeah, yeah. Hey,
They
maybe it
took
was
their
also because
quiet voice away. So
maybe it was
people are
also
actually
because
having to make a negative post since their dislike doesn't count anymore.
yeah,
I see that.
yeah. Unfortunately, it's and I feel like that's a worse idea because bad comments actually hurt a lot more than dislikes.
Yeah.
Like if you dislike a video of mine, like even if that video had a higher dislike count than like count, I would be like, all right, that's fine. That's cool. I've learned now. Next video, I will better myself. I will
Mm,
do better. I'll do this thing, try to do this thing different. And you look at those dislikes from a mature standpoint, and you start kind of saying like, okay, how can I better myself as a YouTuber?
mhm.
But then if someone goes in there and be like, "Oh, you suck. You're the worst YouTuber of all time. You yada yada yada," and
Yeah.
stuff like that just cuts deep.
Those negative comments aren't
You almost don't
constructive.
feel, yeah, it's really bad.
After Spider-Man, my last theater movies will be Matrix Resurrection and Nightmare Alley. I don't know Nightmare Alley, but Matrix Resurrection for sure.
Nightmare Alley,
Around Christmas.
Nightmare Alley is a new Guillermo del Toro movie
Oh, okay.
coming out.
I
And
knew he was making a newer one. I wasn't sure
yeah,
which
that
one.
one I'm definitely Matrix Resurrection, but also Licorice Pizza from Paul Thomas Anderson.
Licorice Pizza?
There's a movie called Licorice Pizza, yes, from one of my favorite directors of all time, Paul Thomas Anderson, who's doing that, and that will probably be my last theater movie of the year.
Yeah, I'm
So
gonna try to sneak in for Matrix, but we'll see. It's right around Christmas, so
yeah, um, luckily I'm in I'm going to be out of town somewhere, so I'll be in a town that has like Matrix playing in either a giant IMAX screen or like a 40x screen or something like that, so I can see it in a big like theater. That'd be really cool.
I'm not sure. We'll
Yes,
see.
yes, it is. She's my favorite actress, so of course I
Okay, there
know
you
that.
go.
But yeah, Kate Blanchett is in the new Nightmare Alley. It's also Bradley Cooper, Rooney Mara, um, Richard Jenkins. So yeah, there's a lot of Willem Dafoe. So yeah, there's a lot of really good names in that one.
Some big names.
Yeah, yeah. Well, big names for a big director like Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm at 170 2021 movies right now. So I am, and the year's not done yet for me. So my goal is to try to get to like 200
I've
by,
been pushing this week, but I'm slacking overall. I'm at like 40.
yeah. And it's so funny because I actually had people like come up to me and I say like I finally beat my record. So like my last record was like maybe 148. I think it was what it was. It was 148 for uh that was for 2019, and that was my last record. And so whenever I told people I'm like I'm at 170 now, I've surpassed my record. I had someone tell me that's it. That's how much you think. I was like that's it. What are you talking about? How many movies have you seen this year?
What?
I'm like God. I'm like golly. I'm like, have you seen like what, like 400 or something? And they're like, and I said close enough of a guess. And I was like, jeez, like, how do you have that much
And
time?
no matter how many you watch, there's always gonna be some you miss. There's no way to watch them all.
Yeah, like I have told people I'm like I can't believe I'm so sad I missed the last duel right now. And
Yeah, I just seen that yesterday.
that's one
Or
of those
yeah,
ones.
yesterday.
That's one of those ones I've been dying to see, and I went to the theater to see it. The projector broke, so I didn't see it. And then the day I was going to go back, they took it out of theaters, and I was like, dang. So it was,
That style of movie is not my type of movie or anything, and it
yeah.
still made my top 10 of the year.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
it was good. I liked it.
Yeah. I'm definitely excited to check it out whenever I get the chance. Um, I might just like buy it on like VOD or something because
Yeah, it should be
um,
out soon.
it's already on VOD. But like even though I like to buy physical copies, I have to see when the 4K is coming out. Because right now they have it like to where you can pay $20 to buy it on VOD, but they don't have like a rental, so I can't like rent it and watch it, which is odd. But
Just own it.
yeah, that's what's like Universal's been doing with their movies lately. They're like, we'll make you buy the movie, but you can't rent it. And I'm like, well, okay, I don't want to do that.
Ooh, I want that too. Is why I'm broke all the time from buying movies. I have like 150 I own now that I need to watch. Same here.
Yeah,
It breaks the bank.
and I don't even have like my shelf. I need to get myself some new shelves for Christmas because my shelf it's like all the Blu-rays and DVDs right now are like they're just like mushed together. They're everywhere. They're jumbled all over the place. I
I
don't
have a
even
dresser over there with about
have,
75 on them just sitting there because I have no place over here.
yeah, it's like eventually you run out of room on your
Hmm.
shelf. And that's what I've done with this shelf. So I need to buy myself like a whole new shelf alongside this wall here so that I can just hold a ton of movies on because I'm really running low on space. So
We got a problem.
yeah, yeah. What we are pretty much hoarders, but you know,
Just with movies.
we're just Blu-ray movie hoarders. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's like I have an addiction. I can't stop. Oh,
We're gonna be on Strange Addictions.
yeah, uh, where they cracked the case of the um, men with the Blu-ray collection, with the excessive Blu-ray collection. Yeah, it's it's crazy.
All right, guys. Well, I'll wrap this up. On my channel, I have Terminator Salvation coming out this week, which is an interesting entry. Um, got some song reactions I've been putting out all week since I'm off this week. Trying to think. Next week, I'm not doing Terminator. Me and Jason are taking a week off for Christmas. We'll be right back the next week with Genesis. Uh, I got Aladdin ranking. It's been in editing bay for a while now. I'll probably edit that this week and put it out there. All 4 films. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for me. Till next month, I'll try to do another music and a movie. I think it may be Rockstar, the movie Rockstar with Jason Knight coming over. So it's not officially set yet, but that's what we're planning. And yeah,
I've seen is is Rockstar the one with the guy from The Office in it? I forget his name, but
could be. It's like the Steelheart movie from the
okay,
early 2000s.
that
It's been a
that
while since I watched it.
that might be what I'm thinking of. Because I know Rock of Ages, but
Yeah, it's not Rock of Ages.
yeah, let's see,
That's true. That's true, Red Rusty. We could have worse addictions.
Rockstar from 2001. Oh yeah, I actually don't think. Yeah, I've never seen Rockstar. Interesting.
Oh, it's good.
So I will have to add that to the lineup.
Just replaced Terminator Collection with Blu-ray. Upgraded Salvation to the unrated director's cut. Yeah, I only own the DVD of Salvation. I want to pick up the Blu-ray of that as well.
See, that's one of those. I don't know if I'd want to pick up a collection for because then I'd own Genesis, and I would probably never be able to bring myself to watch Genesis except for maybe marathons. That's the only issue I have with like box sets. Is within a box set, whenever you buy them, there's always the good movies that you watch, but then there's always one that you're like leave off and you just don't ever touch. And so,
Freddy's dead? No.
like that would be like, for example, if I had a Predator box set,
Yeah.
I'd be able to watch them all the other ones except for the Predator.
Mm-hmm.
That
I
was
get you.
shit. I would not be able to watch it, and so it's like I'm like, do I feel like I'm getting my full money's worth? Because I can't bring myself to watch all the films in the box set. So it's like it makes you question if you're actually uh, making a good decision by paying for it.
But again, it comes down to our movie addiction where I'm like a completionist. It's like I should buy that Chucky box set because it's the only way I can own Seed of Chucky on Blu-ray.
Yeah,
And that's what I did.
yeah. The completionist in us can be a definite curse because then we will find out we pay for a lot of things that we will not be interested in watching. Like right now, I own all the um, Paranormal Activity movies individually, separately,
Okay.
except for Ghost Dimension. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to look for a separate Blu-ray or
Yeah, because the sets are like pretty cheap for all 6. Without the newest one is only like $19 or $18 right now on Amazon,
Yeah, so
Canadian.
it's like
So
so now
14 American.
so now as a completionist, it's like even though Ghost Dimension's so bad, and I'll like rarely ever get to bring myself to watch that movie again, I'd be like, I have to have it. It's like complete.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's sad.
it's a curse, like you said.
A gift and a curse.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. You got anything left to add?
Um, Nothing much else. Just I guess happy holidays to you all. Hope you guys have a wonderful if you guys are, I assume everyone's on Christmas break, that you're spending this Christmas break with your family and friends and loved ones and having the best holidays. Uh, I know I'm excited for them. So yeah, hope you guys really have a wonderful holiday season ahead. So
For sure. Everybody stay safe. I'll read this last comment. If the installments are bad enough, it overrides my completionist gene. Friday, Elm Street, and Halloween are all overridden due to the bad ones. I only bought the ones I like. Well, smart man.
nice.
Unfortunately, I'm not the same.
Yeah. Um, but this is why it's also always important to listen to recommendations or reviews or something like that, because I had a friend who one time was either buying this really good movie. I think he chose, because at the time it was like, I think it was between, I forget the good movie, but I think it was American Psycho and The Gallows. And so he brought both to me up on Blu-ray, and he was like saying, "So which one should I get? Should I get American Psycho or should I get The Gallows?" I'm like, "Well, I've seen both of them, and American Psycho is phenomenal. The Gallows, not so much." And then he's like, "What am I in the mood for?" He was really on like a found footage kick recently, so he ended up buying The Gallows, and that was $10, and on Blu-ray that he spent, and like the American Psycho one was like out of a $5 uh, bin,
Bin.
one of those bins and stuff that he would have gotten. I was like, and so he paid the $10. But if you really want to kind of like $12 with tax or whatever, that he paid for the Gallows Blu-ray, and then he watched it. He called me up and he's like, "Michael, what is that shit? Why did you tell me to buy it?" I was like, "I didn't tell you to buy it. I told you not to buy it. It said it was awful." I say that was one of the worst buys I've ever made. I'm like, "Well, next time, listen to me."
Yeah, and I
Uh,
heard part 2 is not much better, or not better at all.
it's not. It may even actually make me want to go back to part one. It's really
That's the
it's
Gallows, I mean, but I didn't hear good things about American Psycho 2 neither. But
really
with
The Christian Bale.
Mila Kunis? No, part 2.
Oh, part two. Okay, I
I
thought you
said
were
part
talking
2 of either of those. I never heard
about
good
part two.
things.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Uh,
American Psycho, I watched that. That's great. But
didn't they make like another American Psycho with the girl from Ginger Snaps? What's her name? Uh,
they could have. I know they have one with Jackie from that '70s show.
yeah, something like that. So yeah, I think they made like three of those. That's kind of crazy.
Only one that matters.
Yeah, only one that's actually worthwhile.
But anyway, guys, I'll leave you on that note and have a safe and a fun holidays. And we'll see you next time. Later.
Later, guys.